All right, just before the break, I mentioned that Chunks said that Aubameyang will finish top scorer, or at least will get a few goals for Arsenal. Why are you laughing?
It's Chunks an Arsenal fan, yeah?
I'm guessing so, actually. Is he an Arsenal fan?
Chunks an Arsenal fan,
yeah, yeah. I'm getting not sure.
Yeah, he is. I'm sure he is.
I think he is.
I've heard him talk. Yeah.
Is that why you're laughing? Let's not forget, though, we're laughing.
He's a good
now.
player. No, he scores goals.
He is, right? He's an absolutely fantastic player. And a couple of seasons ago, everyone was saying, including myself, one of the best strikers in Europe. I don't know what's quite happened.
Well, it was last year. It kind of falling out a bit. Do you think with Arteta? I don't know what went on there. And then this year, they're saying in pre-season he's been struggling to hit the back of the net. So, but he is one of them. I think if he gets on a roll, you expect goals.
What's happened to Aubameyang? Is it
I don't know.
Arteta
Arsenal
coming
fans,
in and
tell
asking?
us, please.
Arsenal fans, please tweet in and tell me and Goffey what has happened to Aubameyang. Text us 81089. I actually wouldn't mind hearing from Arsenal fans. They say I give Arsenal fans stick. I don't give the club stick. It's just because I grew up when Arsenal were, they were giants of the Premier League, the monsters, and it's weird to see the decline now, and every single season we expect it to get better.
Well, they're trying to climb that ladder, and it seems to be getting further and further away. And
other clubs are being added to that ladder as well, like Leicester and West Ham.
Yeah, and trust the process. We keep hearing it about what he's trying to do. They're getting in some good young players. They've also got some very good players. There's a lot of players. Are they staying? Are they going? There's a lot of Arsenal fans who still think there's at least 3 or 4 who have got to get out before they can go and sign some more players. He's gradually doing it, but it's taking longer than he would have wanted to get the players out. That's
the problem, isn't it? There is a lot of quote-unquote dead wood at the club.
Because the wages are paid, yeah.
Because the wages, and no one wants to take them, again, because of the wages. I do like what they've done with Ben White coming in. I think him and Gabriel, I know Arsenal fans still have those big question marks over Gabriel, but I do think potentially he could be a good partner for Ben White. Young partnership, but I like that. I like Kieran Tierney as well. I think Bellerin's run his race. He's had so many injuries. He's simply not the player he was. And I don't think we saw the best of Thomas Partey either. And I think we will see this season.
He picked up a niggle though, didn't he?
Again, injuries.
Yeah, injuries. And they've got good young players. Smith Rowe and Saka. I mean, how can you not like Saka? Yes, he missed a penalty, but look at his performances in an English. Yeah, absolutely. Love him. And he can play absolutely anywhere. Loves playing football. Shame what happened to him right at the end, but he's going to come back strong. He's going to have a great season.
How they pick him up from that, because again, he is such a young kid, isn't he? I think he will. He's at a good club in Arsenal. He's around good players as well.
He'll be straight back on it.
A couple of players with big question marks this season. One of them, and we might talk about him a bit later when we talk transfers, Lacazette. It almost seems like Arteta doesn't fancy him at the club. That's the way I see it anyway. Every single time he plays, he gets taken off. He never seems to get a run of games, never gets a run of minutes, right? Never plays the full games. It's almost like he doesn't quite trust him.
Well, it's almost like he doesn't want to play Lacazette and Aubameyang in the same team. I don't know why, whether he thinks they do a similar job and they don't do enough work for the team, and he can't afford to have them both in. But he's got Martinelli. We all know what they think of him, and Nketiah. I think in a game the other day, he kind of was a highlight, wasn't he? But they've been trying to get him out of the door for probably the last 3 or 4 months, and they can't get him out. So it'll be interesting who he does play up top. Aubameyang, it's got to be for me, because Aubameyang scores goals.
Yeah, he's the main man. He was given the big contract at the start of last season. I remember Arsenal tweeting about it and everything about him. So look, he's the main man as far as I'm concerned. All right, look, Arsenal fans, I told you to call in. They're calling in. Let's welcome Sheamus to the show. Sheamus, am I too harsh on Arsenal all the time? That's what I've been told.
No, mate, you're absolutely too soft. Aubameyang is not the main man. Aubameyang is absolute bang average, and has been from the minute he got Ozil's contract number 2. He's had his feet up and he's laughing at the fans. We've got 3 decent players, Smith Rowe, Saka and Kieran Tierney. Arteta shouldn't be anywhere near managing a club like Arsenal. We're in for a pretty rough season.
It's been 8th in your last 2 seasons, back-to-back 8th. Obviously, one of those seasons you won an FA Cup, which I think almost smoothed over the cracks a little bit. What are you expecting this season? You got good players. I know you said you've only got 3, but you've still got some good players at the club.
I'm expecting lots of talk, lots of development, lots of promises in the future, lots of work in progress. Don't worry about it, guys. Continue to pay the highest money in all of the Premiership to watch bang average players, apart from the 3 that I've mentioned. We are being sold a pup, and if you turn up there and you give them owners the money and continue to pack that ground out, you are adding to the problem. You've got to treat them with contempt, leave the ground empty, okay? Turn your back on the players until we start being a proper football club again.
Well, that's not going to happen, though, is it? I mean, we've been saying this now for years, haven't they, Arsenal fans? But it just never happened. There's been that divide between supporters. You look as though you're on that side where you've had enough. The owners of the football club not spending in the right areas. But you look at the wages they do pay to their players. You can see why they attract him, because the wages are nice, and that's why Aubameyang wants to stay at Arsenal at this moment in time. That's why Lacazette comes in. That's why Ozil signed a new contract, because they pay the wages.
No, I think
Sheamus is gone.
Sheamus is still there.
Go on, Sheamus.
I'd rather have kids, right, playing their hearts out. I don't mind about winning, as long as I had players in my shirt playing for that badge, playing with commitment, with pride, playing with everything that they've got. But we have got players who are ripping the money out of the club for absolutely zero performance. Do you know what? I'd take Tammy Abraham. Because you know what? He would go on that pitch and he'd give you 100%. Aubameyang, you've got to be joking. Lacazette, he's looking for a move and a payday. The cat here, I'm a bit sorry. I think he should be given more of a chance. But our future is in players like Smith Rowe, Saka,
Martinelli,
and Kieran Tierney. Martinelli is absolute. I love him. I think he runs his socks off for the club, and he should be given a chance. Put the kids out. I don't mind if we don't win things. Put players out there that will play for the shirt, and you'd see a lot more Arsenal fans getting behind the club.
Yeah, a lot of people are tweeting in about Martinelli as well. It's interesting. Sheamus sort of mentioned a couple of players there. They are struggling, aren't they, Arsenal, though? Let's be honest. In terms of,
there's a few at Manchester United that have been there for years.
We keep hearing about, and we keep hearing about that project at Arsenal. It's a big project, isn't it?
When you get a player, and we'd probably be the same, if you're a player and you're not, would you consider a first-team regular, but you keep giving your contracts because they don't want you to go on a free, and your wages are huge, it'd be very hard to get rid of you. The big clubs have it. Manchester United have had it. There's players at Tottenham who have been there years, keep going out on loan every year, but they can't release them because they're thinking they might get a good transfer fee. But nobody's going to give them a good transfer fee because the wages keep going up and up every time they sign a new contract. And it's the same at Arsenal. There's so many players there who have signed new contracts, like 3, 4, 5-year contracts. They ain't going anywhere, because there's no other club in Europe going to pay them the wages they're getting at this moment in time. So they'll let it go all the way down. Footballers, and I'm not saying they're wrong for it, have been doing it for years.
And that seems to be the big problem. I mentioned Chunks, didn't I? Look, you can head to talkSPORT's YouTube channel. You can hear a Super Premier League preview show with Andy Goldstein. Sean Wright-Phillips is there, former City and Chelsea winger, ex-Arsenal midfielder Jack Walsh is there as well, alongside Chunks, where he did mention that Aubameyang will be the top goal scorer this season. All right, the time's just coming up to 5:30. When we come back, we're going to hear from Chief Exec of the Premier League, Richard Masters.